Shit. We're going. What's up?
Yeah.
Howdy, Montrell.
Nothing, man. Just trying to get through this so I can play League, man.
He doesn't want to do the podcast, guys. League's new season just dropped today, and he's been playing it all day, actually, or part of the day, at least.
I only played 2 games. Oh my god.
Okay, all right, yeah. I'm not trying. I mean, how are you doing? Our beginning of this year has been very, I'd say, chaotic to start the year. We got wildfires in Los Angeles, like ripping that city to shreds, and then Donald Trump is talking about annexing Canada and Greenland and taking over the Panama Canal or whatever the fuck, and then we are currently snowed in here in DFW.
I mean, at this point, just bring on Fallout. This is literally the Fallout timeline at this point. So,
yeah, and he's increasing tensions with China. I mean, I don't know, dude. It feels
all China has to do is invade Alaska, then we annex Canada, and then we're in a Fallout territory.
You think he's a fan?
Who, Donald Trump?
Yeah, he's trying to like, he wants to execute that timeline.
I think somebody in his fucking party wants to execute, like his team.
Yeah.
Somebody on his team wants to do that shit. I don't know what possesses somebody to want to go after Canada or Greenland and Canada.
I mean, oil, I guess. Like, Canada has oil. I think doesn't Greenland as well?
Okay, that may make sense why he wants to go.
I think that's the reason those are on his mind. I think the Panama thing is for trade.
Yeah, for sure.
Specifically. So he's
which is weird because we still trade with them. Like, they actually take our dollars, so their currency is officially our currency. So that makes any sense.
Yeah. So it's weird. It's like I mean, all these things are economic, right? That we're talking about. So that seems to be his focus at the moment. And then I mean, the tariff stuff is also economic. So
which I'm glad is kind of off the table now. I think they pushed him back off that one.
Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, he keeps throwing it around. It's like, dude, you can't put tariffs on every country on the planet that we trade with. It's like that would crater our economy probably. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So I think this is his backup plan. He wants to just fucking annex everybody or whatever.
Well, and then dude, the Prime Minister of Canada resigned too. This is like what's going on right now?
Yeah, and then Germany and France, I think, said if you move on Greenland, they will respond with military action.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, so even if we did do that,
all right.
So if they did that, right?
Yeah.
The entire NATO, not including us, because I guess we'll be out of NATO.
Well, we would be out. They'd kick us out of NATO.
They'll kick us out of NATO, and then they'll respond and start a war with us.
Hey, man, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. Good for Europe, okay? Good for Europe. Good for you guys. Standing up to us. It's. I think you guys need.
It's about like time they stood up to
after
us,
World War II. I feel like you guys need something like that to kind of reestablish your I don't know, manhood or whatever, nationhood.
Yeah.
Anyways, jokes aside, the shit in LA, dude. Honestly, anybody out there, if you're listening to this, stay safe. It's fucking crazy. I was looking at pictures today, man. It looks like a fucking war zone out there. Like, literally, entire just communities just straight up burned to the ground. Like, there are no homes. Like, it's scary stuff. So, I don't know if you've been keeping up with it at all.
No, I have. I think it's just crazy. And I think people are trying to find. I've been staying off the internet, so I've been getting mostly my news from like the news, actually. But I can only imagine how social media is spinning this right now, particularly because it's California. So I already know it's like super toxic. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, I heard stories too, like to add on to all the insurance stuff going on, that certain insurance companies, specifically State Farm, has removed fire protection from home insurance plans in California.
A year before or something like that. Yeah.
It was like in the summer or something, dude. Like, it wasn't even that long ago. So some of these people that are losing their homes literally are like, they're not getting shit. It's like, So just to add on to all the drama around that with our Luigi, the I don't know what to call him, but the guy who killed that CEO for United Healthcare, or allegedly, but it's like that story now continues, I think, because yeah, that's some fucked up shit, dude. What's the point of having insurance if you're not going to cover the things that more than likely will happen in the area I live? It's like that would be like not having hurricane insurance for people who live in Florida, and only offering them like earthquake insurance. It's like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What? Like, that makes no sense. What is the point of it having the insurance in that situation? So um, this shit's all fucked up with that. But so yeah, crazy start to 2025. It's interesting. So we got a lot of news and games though, video games. Nothing super insane, I would say, but we are on the cusp of a Switch 2 reveal, it feels like. So we'll probably have some very interesting things to talk about soon. So otherwise, Montrell, I mean, how are you handling the weather? You've been snowed in today. How early were you getting accumulation this morning?
Well, we actually just started getting accumulation. The
That's what I
south side of
figured.
Dallas
Okay.
just started getting. The
Yeah.
north side of Dallas and Fort Worth, I know you guys are already getting it,
Yes.
but we
Yeah,
just
we've
started getting
we've
it.
had it
So
we've had it all day since pretty much like 6, 7, I think.
yeah,
Um but right now it's actually been raining for the last few hours for us, and it's supposed to start snowing again here soon. So it's going to be very treacherous tomorrow actually. With you've got snow, ice and snow, basically is what it's going to look like. So but no, it's nice. I enjoy these days. I like these days a lot because Texas just shuts down, so it feels like the world is like stopped. It's like on pause,
yeah,
or whatever, which is it's always nice. This is a far cry from the living in Massachusetts, where the roads are instantly plowed the second the snow hits the ground, a lot of the time. So yeah, it's definitely a different vibe, but I do enjoy it. But all right, let's get into the show proper. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is Players Take episode 304. I'm your host, Justin DeSimone, joined as always by my co host, Montrell Rice. We post at 6 a.m. Central Time on Fridays on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcast app of choice. And if you'd like to send us questions, you can do so on Twitter at The Players Take, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. And yeah, let's get into the show here. Just in case you guys haven't listened yet, our last couple episodes were 2025 games preview a couple weeks ago, and then we did our games of the year for 2024. So check those out if you haven't yet. They were fun conversations, a lot of games to talk about there. But Mantra, let's get into the rest of the show proper here. Talk about games we've been playing. So you were filling yours out. I only see one game. Is that all you've been playing this week?
yeah. I mean, I did get further in Metaphor, but I haven't touched it since the 30 days. Since I started the 30 days. So
Gotcha.
um,
Okay. Well.
yeah, I
All
also
right.
started working out again this week. So I took
Okay.
like 2 weeks off from the gym. So I've been dealing with that. So stuff hurts, and
Gotcha.
I'm going to bed earlier and stuff like that.
Okay. Well.
Uh,
Um.
yeah,
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that game when you finish it. Um. I'll talk about Wuthering Waves first. So I got back into this last week when it's on PlayStation now. I decided to check it out. It's funny about this though. I was trying to set up my original account for the game to get in there, and I fucked it up. Their instructions were not very good. They didn't warn you that if you used Google to log into the game on PC, you could not use the same email to tie it to your PlayStation account. You had to
mm,
specifically go into the game uh, on PC and then connect the game to PlayStation that way, and then you could log into PlayStation. So I did it the other way first, and it gave me basically created a new account for me on PlayStation. But after an hour or so of digging around, I kind of thought about it more and realized, did some research on the game and kind of the state of things and where stuff is that I kind of realized that my account on PC is actually not very good. and I just said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna start over." So that's what I did on PlayStation. So I've been playing through the game. I got through basically I got through the main story super fast within like a day, honestly, up to the point where I was, because they added a skip cutscene feature to the game, so you can skip pretty much majority of the dialogue in the game, which is where a lot of the time played comes from when you're playing, which is fucking awesome. It's great. So I was able to blast through a lot of the original content I already did. So I'm not ahead of where I was necessarily, but I'm deep enough in now where there's no reason to really go back to the other account. So yeah, I'm enjoying the game. I think this game is fun. I don't know if I'm gonna say I like it more than Genshin. I kind of think I do, though. Ultimately, I think the way the gameplay is compared to Genshin is just more fun to play with. I think the game isn't as spammy with skills. You're not swapping characters. You're not spamming character swapping constantly, which is kind
Mhm.
of what you do in Genshin. You kind of swap skills, ultimate, swap skill, ultimate, swap skill, ultimate, and then you put your main DPS out and until all those cooldowns are back up. Basically, it's kind of how you tend to play Genshin, which I just got sick of that gameplay after a long time, and I don't really want to go back to it. Whereas
Mhm.
Wuthering Waves is a little bit more, you only have 3 team members compared to the 4 in Genshin, and your characters are on the field for a longer period of time in Wuthering Waves. You're kind of their rotation that you would do like an optimized rotation actually takes about 10 to 15 seconds in this game for most characters. So you're kind of I'd say the gameplay is a little bit more like steady in that regard for me. So you actually have to like I don't know, dodge, play the game, like, do mechanics. It's not just spamming. So it plays more like an actual action game somewhat than just like spamming abilities and fucking filling the screen with particle effects and shit. So I'm kind of enjoying that. I was able to get one of the characters, the newest character that just came out, Carlota, I think her name is, whatever the fuck, however you pronounce it. She is a gun wielding character, and dude, she's fucking so fun to play. I actually think they've done a really good job of making their characters fun to play. For the most part, like a lot of the characters in the game have really cool kits that are just fun to execute. Hers is like her movement and shit is crazy. She's jumping around and shit, jumping over enemies, freezing them, and then slamming the ground, doing these giant AoE attacks and shit. And then she can like her ultimate is like 5 consecutive shots that she can do from a pretty significant range. So you're able to kind of manipulate the battlefield with her in a way that's really fun. So yeah, I'm enjoying the game. It's been a fun time coming back to it, and I'll probably be playing it for a bit here because there's really nothing going on until February that I'm interested in playing right now. So it's probably going to be this in League, and then maybe Baldur's Gate if I get back into that, more than likely for the next couple weeks. But yeah, um, I mean, you mentioned maybe checking this game out, Montrell. You still interested or not really?
Yeah, I actually just forgot I forgot about the game. So,
Gotcha.
uh,
Well, yeah. So there is a co-op. I haven't looked into it too much. If you did want to play,
okay.
I think we can literally like run around the world together. I don't know. I think like if we're doing questing and stuff, it would be whoever's hosting. So more than likely, you would probably want to host, and I can like help you with quests and stuff.
Okay.
I think it's how it works. So and then we can do certain kind of like energy related activities for like the daily stuff. We can do that stuff together too. So that would be pretty cool. Yeah, League. So we've been playing League still some more. And then the new season just dropped today, like I mentioned. I have not played it yet, but you have. What are your thoughts after a couple games?
So I did 3 games, I think, today. Yeah, I did 3 games. I won all 3 in my norms. I was 1 as support and then 2 as mid. I got
Okay.
autofilled to mid. So um first 2 games felt very steamrolly. Um
Yeah.
it's hard to describe because we both of the games we surrendered before 20 minutes.
Okay.
Um, and I don't know, like it felt really steamrolly. The boots they feel really good, but I don't know if they feel as powerful as I thought they were. But I mean, they just the stats on them are crazy though. Especially
Yeah.
the tier two sorcerer boots or tier two merc treads and tier two or tier three rather merc treads and tier three plated boots or ninja tabbies.
Yeah.
Um, you get that shield. So on the merc treads, you get the magic shield, and then on the plated boots, you get the physical shield.
Mm.
Um,
Mhm.
and it's only like maybe like 150. I think it scales a little bit off your health or whatever, but
HP.
it's on
Yeah.
yeah. But it's not that bad. I haven't checked out the other tier boots yet, but I do feel bad for junglers this season. They're going to be very very impactful. You're going to feel it if you have a bad jungler this season.
Yeah.
Because you have to get well, first blood is going to be a really big thing, so that's going to be really toxic. I think the games overall, honestly, is just going to be really toxic, because they put so much emphasis on the feats of strength. If you get first blooded, you're going to feel bad. If you lose your tower first time, you're going to feel bad. So like, if you're playing like Heimerdinger or something like, if you're playing against the Heimerdinger or like a Malzahar or somebody that can constantly push, it's going to feel bad when you lose that first tower because you don't want to give up your feats of strength. Um, and as a jungler, you have to get at least three epic monsters. So two dragons and then one void grumblings, or one set of void grumblings, or two sets of void grumblings and one dragon, or one rift herald, two dragons, etc. etc. Um, but normally, from what I've experienced, people either team, all three times my team has gotten it, but either team has gotten the feats of strength by the 15th or 17th minute mark. So we've got two out of three of those objectives or
Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
Usually the first one is obviously first blood. That's obviously the one that so that's a guaranteed first 5 to 6 minutes you're gonna get that. I haven't played that. This is in norms. I haven't played in ranked. I'm assuming ranked. I'm gonna say the first 5 to 8 minutes you're gonna get first blood. Um,
Yeah.
I think the second one is the second tier. Depending on how the jungler is moving, you may get that one before you get your second tier, or you may get your tower first. And one of my games, we actually got our tower first before we got our third epic monster.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
but it's not GG when you do that. We were actually losing the third game. We even though we still won, we were actually losing like the mid game.
Mm.
And they were
Mhm.
pushing hard. I was a Colleen and I was going against Yone. And yeah, they were pushing hard and stuff like that. I actually saw the other epic monster, a new one spawn. It spawned bot
Yeah.
lane.
Yeah.
So I can't remember which one it was actually. I think it was the red one. That's the one that gives you, if you have a lot of kills, I believe. A high
Yeah.
kill game, it spawns or whatever. But it spawned on the bot lane, and it's pretty crazy. It might have been a black one actually, whichever one gives you the revive.
Okay.
So we killed a Warwick, and he just like ran towards us. We killed him, and he revived. No one got gold for him at all. Uh,
Hmm.
he revived at the base too. So it was like,
Oh.
yeah.
Whoa,
So
that's
he his
powerful.
yeah, you saw his body go right back to the base. Um, so yeah, it's crazy. Um,
It's just a
and
get
that
out
kind
of
of
trail
shift
free card. That's
Yeah,
crazy,
that
dude.
kind of
Yeah.
shifted the gears a little bit because we had a
Yeah.
tier two boot or tier three boots. We won it, but everything else, like it was still that fight went on for like 37 minutes. Actually, that was the longest one I
Well,
had so far.
okay. I kind of like that they revive at the base though, because I think basically what it does is it just guarantees you're not worth gold for one death. It doesn't help you get an objective if you're in the middle of fighting an
Yeah,
objective. You still lose the objective. If you're pushing, you still lose the push. Like, I actually kind of like that they did that with the revive. I think that makes sense. So it's literally just a gold thing. You're not giving up gold. You can be a little more aggressive maybe. But and you instantly revive, I guess, too. So if like you're getting pushed into your base, you're instantly back up. It's like a buyback almost from Dota. There's no revive timer, right?
yeah. So there's no
Okay.
revive timer or anything like that. It's almost like akin to Akshan's passive. You know how he
Yeah.
kills you and then he instantly
Yeah, yeah,
revives you?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost akin to that.
Huh.
Um, so teleport is still teleport. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
I don't really feel any significant change with teleport, to be honest with you. I know
Well,
they said they
they make
changed
the
it.
character run across the map. Are they targetable when this is happening?
I don't think so. I mean, I see like so the volleyball on one of my on the last game I had, he had teleport, and you saw his picture, his portrait go all the way across
Yeah.
the thing.
And does he look
So
did it look goofy, or did you not actually see the model or anything? Like,
I mean, it looked like a ball of light. Like, it was
okay.
crazy. It looked
Oh,
weird.
okay.
I don't
Gotcha.
know if it's targetable. That would be cool if it is. I mean, that would be something.
I like that, dude. Like, you could interrupt it maybe on the way. It's actually risky though, because if you interrupt it, then they're there next to you, you know. So if you're like middle or you're in the river or something and they're teleporting across the map, like if you interrupt it, well, you're fighting them in the river now. It's like that would be an interesting change to teleport. I'd be I don't know, it's kind of interesting. But I guess
Yeah.
with how short of a cast timer it has though, it's I mean they're moving pretty fast, right?
Yeah, he actually got interrupted one time. He was casting it and someone interrupted him. He was going to get the Singe and the Singe flipped him.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know if that was just bad positioning or bad like on his part or whatever the case may be. So I don't know. The game feels. I have to play it in rank with you to see how it really feels.
Yeah.
Norms, it's hard to judge it on norms because obviously people aren't really playing too serious.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but it did feel the first two games for sure felt very, very snowbally. The second game, I just think they had a very strong champion. The enemy team had a very strong champion lineup. They had Kaisa, Morgana, Warwick, Yone, and Singe. So that's kind of a hard team to like, just steamroll in general. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It was just the first two games felt really steamrolly. I'm interested in seeing how it's gonna like pan out. It might not. I'm seeing people complain because that was my like the first two games. I was like on Reddit side for sure. I was like, this is crazy. I don't think one side should have tier 3 boots. Whatever the case may be, blah 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 blah. But
Hmm.
then that last game I had when we went 37 minutes, and people were sort of kind of playing serious. Um, it felt like the tier 3 boots didn't even matter. Like the team was on par with gold with us and everything like that. So I don't know. It's just a weird game.
Well, I mean,
It's
the thing is, they cost gold, right? That was the kind of the point I was trying to make in the chat. Is they cost gold, so you are giving up something for getting them. You know, like
yeah,
you're not accelerating to your next item as quickly, right?
yeah,
Because you have to spend money to upgrade them. So it is a choice. I think it may be such that they're powerful enough that they're worth getting first. I think the Berserker Greaves are actually pretty significant. Like, dude, they because somebody was saying this. I saw, I think on Reddit or something, where they were like, they basically nerfed all the boots to then introduce these tier 3 boots. These are basically all matching the old boots before they were all nerfed. Obviously, some of the things are a little bit more powerful with like the shields and stuff, and the Berserker Greaves tier 3 I think is like a mildly nerfed Zephyr boots, that cost like 2,000 last season. But you get the movement speed buff for attacking and stuff with those, and then their attack speed is 45%, I think, which is back where they were before they got nerfed. They also have additional move speed though as well, which I think that is kind of the biggest thing about them to me. That is a big advantage, is that you get more move speed than the tier 2 boots out of them. So
yeah. I don't know. It's just a weird. It's weird. I think it's a really cool weird. I think League needed some kind of switch up like this. I'm actually glad they didn't do nothing to the items though. I mean, they
yeah,
barely touched the items. I think they
yeah,
may have touched like one or two items, but I'm glad they didn't touch any of the items. I think for right now, this is going to change the landscape. I think a lot of people are going to be picking like heavy hitting early game champions. Like you may get your Dravens, your Misfortunes, your Caitlins. I've been seeing Caitlyn almost every game, actually.
yeah,
Um, like mid lane, you may see Talon because I've been blocking Talon. But like usually he's notorious for his all in on level 2. Like he can level 2 somebody if they don't respect it. So you might see that. Kale is being played up top a little bit more because her level 1 is just so strong. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, you're seeing. And I think we might get like more skirmishing junglers like Warwick, Lee Sin, Nidalee, um, champions like that can really excel 1 through 3. They can probably invade you and kill you really fast or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but it's going to be interesting because if you can survive that initial like 20 minutes, you can probably outscale the tier 3 boots. Um,
Yeah.
and those objectives. Uh, so it's very interesting. I think also that new monster did change the balance of the battlefield a little bit because everybody went down to bot lane to skirmish for that fucking monster when it
Yeah.
spawned.
Yeah.
And it's not a joke either. It takes a while to beat. You're going to need your entire team. You can't just
Oh,
leave your
so it's like a
jungler to do it.
it's a Baron like monster. Okay.
Yeah, it's almost because it was 5 of them fighting it. Um, well, I guess 8 because we were fighting back and forth and we were fighting a monster, and
Yep.
it was going for at least a good 30 seconds that battle.
Okay. Okay.
Um, yeah,
Well, I
so
think that's what the feats of strength. I know you were talking about some of it, but I actually think conceptually, I think what they're trying to do is make people play as a team more.
yeah,
And because I think your point about jungler is well said, and unfortunately that may be what it devolves into, but that's really what it shouldn't. It shouldn't devolve into that though, realistically, because you should be helping the jungler get the epic monster kills, if you're
yes,
laners.
and
Um
even we do it. Sometimes we negate the jungler or neglect the jungler,
We
stuff
do.
like
It
that.
has,
Yeah,
sometimes it's not worth helping them either. They might not need the help, or, I don't know. We get tilted at our fucking teammates or something, and they piss us off, and we don't go help. But I think now though, I don't know if we're gonna really want to do that because it's such a swing, to get those boots. Um, so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It'll be interesting. For sure. I'm kind of excited to check it out and play it. There was a trailer though that came out this week for this new season, and
yeah,
dude, I mean, everybody's been talking about this, and I mean, I think it's fucking stupidly obvious at this point. I don't even think there's much analysis here. Like, it literally is just a tease for a new show. I think, like,
yeah. I don't think it's gonna be like Arcane. I don't think it's gonna call it Arcane because it's not
no,
gonna
but
revolve
it'll
around
be
Arcane
called
anymore.
something else. But it seems like an obvious continuation of Arcane. Like, Mel from Arcane is the headline character of the trailer, and later on at the end of the trailer, Vlad and LeBlanc are talking, and LeBlanc literally references what happened in Arcane when she's speaking. So I think it's very clear that there's some continuation happening there, or
Yeah,
maybe Riot is going to start using these trailers as a way to either bridge gaps between shows, or they're going to use, like, Arcane maybe is the canon for League of Legends, and they're just going to have some continuous story they tell through trailers as well on top
yeah.
of
So
it.
that it is the
Um,
continuation. I mean, Arcane is canon,
yeah,
for sure. So the thing is, I see what they're doing now. I think they're trying to retell the events that already happened in League of Legends. They're just
yeah,
retelling them now,
yeah,
and they used Arcane as a jump off point because this part of what we're doing now, as far as like Mel going back to Noxus and everything of that nature, she is fighting the Black Rose, but the Black Rose is also fighting their own battle, because they're within grips of Noxus as well. They're an organization within Noxus.
hmm
Um, and Swain is, I don't know if Swain is like the leader of Noxus yet. So
yeah,
Darius is definitely not one of the leaders. So in Noxus, like lore, it's 3 pillars of strength or 3 pillars or something like that. Which it was Darius, Swain, and then like a shadowy figure. I don't know who the third one was or whatever. But Swain was like the main person though, and he has like a demon, like the crows or the ravens. I don't know if you heard the ravens like going everywhere. That's like his thing with the ravens and everything.
okay, so he was
So
kind of teased in the trailer as well.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
he has like an all-seeing eye where he can like see everything, especially like LeBlanc. LeBlanc, I didn't actually know LeBlanc was that powerful. She's like deity level powerful.
yeah,
Um
Yeah.
and Vlad is a distant cousin of fucking Viego. I don't know if you noticed, but that's why he kind of looks like Viego.
Mm, okay.
But
Yeah, he was
uh,
really pale in the trailer. I was like, Jesus, dude, like what
yeah,
the?
he practices blood magic.
Yeah, right.
And that's also why Katarina can teleport to her blades because her blood is on the blades, so she can teleport to them with blood magic. Um, Fun fact: Katarina is also later on in lore, she's gonna fall in love with Garen. That's her love interest,
What
who
the
is like
fuck?
who
Okay.
is like a direct enemy of Noxus Demacia and
Noxus with
everything.
Demacia.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we haven't seen Demacia at all,
Yeah, we
obviously.
haven't seen that. So the reason I bring this up though is because uh the overarching narrative I think is going to be for the next season is either one is going to be one or two things. They're preparing for the invasion of Ionia because uh we saw a young Darius fighting Trundle. That wasn't like older Darius that we play with in the game now.
Yeah.
That was like a
Yeah.
younger version of Darius. So you can also tell by the banners in the background and shit like that. He's doing his campaign in the Freljord or whatever like that. Um, so that's going on, and then two, yeah, they're some they confirmed something called the Gray Ones or something like that, which is pretty
Mm-hmm.
much the undead Noxus people, which is like Scion and stuff like that. People who die on the battlefield and they bring their bodies back to be used or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So they use those people to actually invade Ionia. So we don't know if that's what they're preparing for, or they're actually preparing for the return of Mordekaiser, who is the Lord of Death, and like this cosmic event that happens in League of Legends. Um,
Yeah.
so he's like a huge deal. He can like literally destroy the entire world of Runeterra.
Okay.
And a lot of people are saying like they're either staging up for one of those two things where Noxus has to push back Mordekaiser, or they're preparing for the invasion of Ionia, but we don't know yet. So
Okay. Gotcha. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, it's a cool trailer. Tyler one was not impressed though. He didn't like it. He thought they were trying to sell the new champion really hard, which I mean they are. I mean I don't know. It's marketing. Um,
yeah,
but I don't know how much of a problem I really have with it. I mean it makes sense to make a trailer around your new character, um, but yeah. So I don't know. It was cool. New season. No more no ranked reset, which is cool too. So we're for this entire year we're not going to be doing any rank resets. So I was looking at the battle pass as well. They made significant changes to that. It looks like it's going to be a lot more interesting to level it. Maybe not as much of a grind, we'll see. And I'm
it
kind
looks
of
kind of boring to be honest with you.
yeah,
I
I mean
checked
the
it out.
rewards didn't look very exciting, but there's like 5 chapters in it, and I don't know if those unlock over the course of this year or if that's all happening like in this first season, quote unquote, that's taking place over the first 4 months. I don't know how they're doing that, so um we'll see more about it. But I mean, I found the old battle pass boring as well because I mean, dude, you were just kind of grinding. Like it wasn't like the doing the missions was not it wasn't like you only ever had one mission available at a time for the most part, you know. Whereas now it looks like you have a whole bunch that you're gonna, you know, get progress towards at the same time, which is better. I feel like it's not gonna be as grindy, maybe. So we'll see. Um,
Yeah,
cool.
they still do have the same uh crafting shop, so it's still there. I thought they were going to take it away, but it's actually still there. So
Oh, really? Like you mean like being able to pick stuff with tokens,
yeah,
or okay? Because that wasn't
like
clear. I didn't see that in there either. So
like
okay,
the
so that's
like the
cool.
yeah, like the orange essence and stuff like that, and when you get the little boxes, the masterwork boxes and stuff like that from doing your getting like S plus and stuff like that, you
Well,
still get those.
they did take those out, the masterwork boxes.
Oh no, the masterwork boxes are gone, but the hex tech boxes are still
X
there.
tech chests. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. All right. Cool. All right, let's move on to the news then. So we got a bunch of news. We haven't talked about news in a few weeks. First thing is Switch 2 leaks. We've had a lot of leaks since we last talked about news, but there was kind of a big one actually today where these two leakers called 91 Mobiles, and I don't know the other one. But they released a video of basically um a view of the Switch 2, and it's kind of a trying to think of the word, but basically it's just in graphical form. It's not like a real,
Surrender.
yeah,
Yeah,
render,
surrender.
exactly. Perfect. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Yeah, render of the console basically and how it looks. It's very short. It's like 20 seconds. And but it just kind of pans around the whole thing, and it looks I mean, it definitely looks different from the Switch. I'd
You know what
say
it
it kind of
reminds me
looks
of?
more like a Steam Deck, honestly.
It actually reminds me of the Wii U. The controller.
True. True. Yeah, I can see that too. It I mean, if this color scheme is what they're releasing with too, it's I mean, it's black with little accents under the analog sticks. And that's really it. That would be an interesting choice for Nintendo. They don't usually I mean, I guess the original Switch was like gray, and they had the gray Switch. So they may be doing the same thing here with the Switch too, and then they'll release color, um, different versions with different colors in the future. But yeah, any takeaways from these leaks for you? Did you how much like have you looked over a lot of it,
Yeah, I
or
looked over a lot of it. I think the 8.4-inch screen is very interesting. I think that's
yep, it's
bigger, so
bigger. It is
they
bigger.
definitely
Yep.
want you to game from the mobile side of it.
Yep.
Which is
Um
always my complaint with my original Switch. I didn't want to buy the OLED Switch. I know it has a bigger screen, but I didn't
oh
want to
yeah,
buy that.
that was one thing. There might be an OLED screen. Like it's gonna be an OLED by default. No
Okay.
LCD, which is great. That would be amazing news.
Yeah.
Because yeah, the LCD. I'm gonna be honest. Like the LCD screens, just dude, they suck. They're not very good compared to the OLED. So that would be good. And then there's also a new button on the right Joy-Con. It looks like below the home button, I believe.
Yeah.
That people have noticed as well. So I mean, there's some small things. I mean, this isn't like I don't know. It like we're gonna see this
I
whenever it gets revealed, but
Yeah, I actually need to see the software side of it.
yeah,
Because one
yeah,
thing that got me nervous is I still saw a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and I'm like, yikes.
yeah,
I just don't. I really hope they have Bluetooth on this thing to where we can just use Bluetooth speakers or
yes,
Bluetooth headsets.
yeah.
Because
Yeah, and I mean it's fine. You can have the headphone jack. That's not a problem as long as we have both, right? Like we need to
yeah,
have the
exactly.
Bluetooth option also. Because I'm with you on that for sure. That's like, come on, get with the fucking times, Nintendo. With
Yeah,
that, so that was always a big hindrance. That's become a big hindrance for the Switch, in my opinion. Is not having that Bluetooth capability.
yeah. I think you can get a dongle for it, but I just always forget to buy it when I'm like about to go out of town or something like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
but yeah, like I don't know. I think I think this looks cool. I really just want to see the software side, see what it can do. Uh, I don't even need it to be as powerful as a Steam Deck. I
yeah.
do need to be more powerful than the Switch, though. That's all I need is to be more powerful
Which
than
it
it.
will be. It definitely will be. I
Yeah,
mean, people are saying it's like PS4 level strength, which in a handheld I think is perfectly fine.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I don't need like a super powerful like I think it's called the Legion. That's really powerful
yeah,
right now.
yeah,
I don't need
yeah,
all that, which is cool. I think those are cool, but I'd rather just have a Switch, or whatever. So yeah, I think it looks cool though. I'm glad they didn't go with like a crazy design or anything. I'm glad it just kept it simple. It looks like an upgrade. Hopefully, it is just called Switch 2. Therefore, parents can just go in and be like, "What's the latest Switch?" And we got the Switch 2, and they can just buy it
hmm
like that.
I mean, that was part of the leaks too. There's the logo it just says Switch 2.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think
Which
they're not,
I think the Switch Pro would have been better, but you know,
or
whatever.
the Super Switch,
The Super Switch, yeah, that would have been
the
cool.
Super Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, that
You know,
actually would have been cool.
like
Yeah,
the Super NES, kind of doing something
yeah.
like that. But I even think that branding could be confusing nowadays, though. Um, honestly, because yeah, I don't know. So we'll see. I mean, I like. I don't know how much longer Nintendo can really drag this out. Like, dude, I feel like they've got to reveal this thing soon. This is getting
I feel like they
comical at
gotta
this point.
release it in spring. I think releasing in
Yeah,
summertime is way too late, to be
I
honest with
agree.
you.
I totally agree. I feel like March like has to be the period, but I mean, everything we're hearing though, the rumors there is that it's like somewhere between April and like the summer, and it's like, dude, that is so late. Like, dude, we're talking over 7 years at that point. It's like this thing, like the Switch has got to go. I don't know what they're waiting for. It's like, do they want to outsell the PS2? Is that really like, are they really trying to do that? Like, that seems foolish at this point. They avoided the PS5 Pro. I get that. You're trying to like, have your own little window where you launch this thing, but at this point it's kind of just like shit or get off the pot, man. Like, there's no games coming, except for like Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's like, what are we doing, man? Like, we need games. We need new games for Nintendo. So I don't know. I would expect a announcement very soon. Like, I think realistically it could be by the end of the month, they reveal this thing, but I guess we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Sony Kadokawa. We talked about this before the holidays. Sony was rumored to be trying to acquire Kadokawa, but that kind of ended in a rather anticlimactic way, at least for now. So Sony and Kadokawa announced that Sony will be acquiring 12,054,100 new shares for 50 billion yen. And this will give Sony 10% of Kadokawa's shares. So they'll own 10% of the company. They owned a very small percentage before. I think it was about 2% or something like that. So they bought about 8% more of the company with this. And yeah, so this for now is a strategic partnership. They're not going towards the acquisition. They're not going the acquisition route right now. And the announcement here from Sony is a quote. So this is from Hiroki Totoki. Quote, through this capital and business alliance, we will become the largest shareholder of Kadokawa, which consistently creates a wide variety of IP, including publications and books, such as light novels and comics, as well as games and anime. By combining Kadokawa's extensive IP and IP creation ecosystem with the strengths of Sony, which has promoted the global expansion of a wide range of entertainment, including anime and games, we plan to work closely together to realize Kadokawa's global media mix strategy aimed at maximizing the value of its IP and Sony's long-term vision, creative entertainment vision, end quote. So, I mean, I kind of take this to mean that the video game stuff everybody was focusing on, including us, is not even remotely the reasoning for this. This is about anime and light novels and manga for them, which Kadokawa is a huge creator of in that space. And I think Sony's just trying to continue to gobble up as much as they can there, where they're kind of at the point where they almost have a monopoly over stuff in that space. They've acquired so much over the last few years. So that seems to be the kind of the goal here. It's is much more important to them. This is a kind of a media thing, not necessarily a game focused move. I mean, what do you think, Montrell?
Yeah, it's very anticlimactic, like you said. I think it's an interesting move. It makes sense. Anime is still up, even though I feel like our generation. I'm talking to a lot of people that are our age, and we're like, we're kind of over anime, but it is still
Yeah.
very popular. So a lot of people are still watching it. A lot of people younger in their 20s are still watching it and stuff like that. So I think it's a good investment on Sony's part. And like you said, they're like the ones kind of leading the charge in this as well.
Yep. So yeah, that was the end of that. I mean, I could see this expanding further at some point. But right now it's kind of the end of it. So if we see more, we'll certainly talk about it here on the show. All right, moving on. Sony at CES announced that they are doing a movie adaptation of Horizon Zero Dawn. They're doing it in collaboration with Columbia Pictures. They announced this at their CES press conference. Horizon Zero Dawn movie. Montreal, can you wait for this?
Yeah, I actually can't wait for this. I just don't get it, dude. Like, you already know how I feel about Horizon. Like, I
yeah.
don't get it. I really
Dude,
don't get
I mean,
it.
Herman Hulst is like I think he's out of control at this point, bro. Like somebody needs to somebody needs to stop this man. Okay, like Horizon is not this good. It's just not this good. Like, and Sony's gonna learn this the hard way, I feel like. But the thing is, maybe we're wrong. Is like,
I
I mean,
I think
these
maybe
games
we are
sell a
wrong.
lot more than we really give them credit for. So,
I mean, okay, how much did the Sony like the Lego version of Horizon sell?
oh, that game fucking bombed, I think.
All right, and then what about the remake or the remaster? But aren't those numbers inflated for the remaster? Because all you gotta do is pay like $10, right? And you get the remastered version of it if you already have the original version of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Um, let's see. I mean, news from November on the remaster is that this is on PC. It was outperformed by the original version of the game, which did not
Hmm.
sell super well. Like under 100,000 copies. So who knows? It doesn't seem like either of these are doing super well. But I mean, these are not products necessarily aimed at the core audience that buys Horizon. I mean, yeah, sure, the remastered might be, but a lot of people play the game already, and the game's perfectly fine. It just might be that particular product people aren't interested in.
Yeah.
And the Lego game I heard is just bad. It's just not a very good game. So,
Mm.
and it's kind of a weird thing to do with Horizon, weird Horizon spinoff. So I don't necessarily think those are indicative of anything larger with this franchise. Personally, I think I'll be more interested to see when the like MMO that NCSoft is working on comes out, how that does. If that doesn't do very well, then that is definitely indicative of something to me. Because that's like a real video game, versus like the VR game they did. This Lego game, I mean, it's a video game. Sure, it is a real video game, but I don't think it's not targeted at the audience that plays Horizon necessarily. And then the remaster, while it is a real video game, it's just the same game that was already released. It just looks nicer. So it's like, I don't think these are good benchmarks for interest in the IP personally.
Yeah. I mean, so the first game, I think the numbers are inflated because we have to realize they sold a lot of PS4s with Horizon attached to it. So a
Yeah,
lot of people's first game on the PS4, regardless if you wanted to play it or not, was Horizon.
yeah,
I don't. I think this is like a Wii Sports situation. I actually like Wii Sports a lot, but
yeah,
it's not like everyone was like, "Oh my god, Wii Sports is the best game ever" or whatever the case. It's like it was a game that came with the Wii,
yeah,
and
yeah,
that's what kind of catapulted its sales numbers, in my opinion.
yeah,
So like, I think he's using that too to his advantage. Like he's telling the executives, like, "Look how many people want to play this game, love
yeah,
this game,"
yeah.
and I think Forbidden West did well though, right? It sold like 10 million copies, right?
A minimum, yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Um,
I just don't think I think people will be more willing to see a God of War game or a movie rather
yeah,
than a Horizon Zero Dawn. Hell, I would even say Killzone. I think Killzone will appeal to people who don't even know what Killzone is. Like just the character,
yeah,
just the Hellgas design and everything will bring in a lot of people.
hmm,
You know,
yeah,
I just can't see. I you know what I see? I see a Monster Hunter in our midst, a Monster Hunter
yeah.
movie in our midst. That's what I see. Unless they do a good job. I mean, it could be a thing. So
I see what you mean. Oh, like a bad, very bad movie. Okay, I
yeah, like a
got you.
very bad movie. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, this was one of his quotes here. Quote, the Assad Kizilbash, head of PlayStation Productions. Quote: Just imagine Aloy's beloved origin story set in a vibrant, far future world filled with the giant machines brought to you for the first time on the big screen. End quote.
I don't
Yeah,
care about
this
that.
sounds like a Monster Hunter esque
We're gonna
movie to
get the
me.
wrong writers.
I don't know.
Aloy is gonna be fucking Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, and I mean, is her origin story beloved? Like, let's calm down a little bit there, dude. I mean, I don't know if people are playing Horizon because of Aloy. I don't think Aloy herself is very beloved. Like people, this is the thing about Horizon that's so weird. I've compared it to Avatar before, but it really does remind me of that because a lot of people that talk about this series don't really like it very much, me included. Like, I'm not crazy about it. I don't think it's bad, but I also don't think it's like world endingly good either. um I think it's a solid game. I think the games are solid. It's a solid franchise. It's well made, but I don't think Aloy is a very interesting character, and I don't think a lot of people like her. So it's interesting that so many people play these games, and I don't think they're playing it for the story, dude. I really don't. I think they're playing it because you're fighting giant fucking robot dinosaurs, you know. And the gameplay is good in that regard. So I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Sony's read on this franchise is really far off, personally. And I would assume Herman has a lot to do with that. And I'm wondering when the crash will really be with it, you know? Like I think Horizon 3 is gonna do fine. Like it's probably gonna sell a lot, just like 2 did. But I think a lot of these other projects they have going on with Horizon are gonna bomb. Like I think this movie might bomb, the NCSoft game might bomb. If it's quality, like that's the only way I see the game doing well is if it's of a high quality. If it's not, if it's NCSoft's normal fare, a video game, then that game's gonna fucking bomb. Nobody's gonna want to play it because let's be frank, NCSoft is not a great company. So yeah, I don't know. I'm a little wary of where they are with this franchise. I think they're overestimating its appeal, but that's just me.
Yeah,
Also,
I agree. I feel
yeah,
like you said, I think the Avatar comparison is a really good comparison.
yeah,
Um, so it's one of those games where it's like for the Avatar, for instance, right? I think it's one of
hmm
those movies where like, yeah, it comes out, and I think the last one do a billion that just came out?
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't
So yeah,
just come out. That came out years ago at this point.
really? Oh shit. I
Dude, I
don't
think
watch it.
it was like 2021. I'll look it up.
Yeah. So yeah, like it's one of those movies though that it comes out, it makes us
2022.
2022.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes out and then it makes a splash hit, but I think it's like people who were like expecting it from like 2009.
Yeah.
I don't see the appeal of it, but like when you have it in any other capacity, right, outside the
Yeah.
movie theater,
Yeah.
no one cares about it.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
Horizon is going to be the same way. I think when you have it out of any other capacity, um, no one really cares about it at all. Like because it's
Yeah.
and I can't really and then you can say, well, Montrell, obviously people care about it. They went and saw Avatar and it sold, 1.2 billion dollars or whatever.
2.3 billion.
2.3 billion.
Where was the revenue for the fucking second Avatar movie? It's crazy. I mean, this is what I mean. This is why it's a good comparison because I think everybody acts like they hate Avatar, but then they go see Avatar. So what is like that's the same thing with Horizon. I feel like everybody hates Horizon, but we all play Horizon. You know, there's something that doesn't make sense there. It's not matching up, you know. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good comparison, but then I think at the end of the day, um, I don't think Horizon's gonna move numbers. They're trying to
Yeah.
make this game The Last of Us, and it's just I don't think it's gonna
Yeah, but the
translate
irony
well.
is it sells more than The Last of Us. At least part two. Part two didn't do very well, dude. Like I don't even know if it broke 10 million.
Really? I thought it did.
Yeah, part two struggled, dude. Like, remember Ghost of Tsushima announced 8 million before The Last of Us Part 2 did. That was like years ago now, but back when those two games came out. So, I mean, maybe at this point it's in the teens, it's like 10 to 15 million or something like that, but
Oh yeah, you talking about The Last of Us 2? I thought you talking about
part
Horizon. But
2,
yeah,
part 2,
yeah,
yeah.
part
Yeah,
two. Yeah,
yeah.
no, that makes sense. I believe that. People had there was a real push to not buy The Last of Us 2. So I actually believe that.
Right. Which is morphed
Um,
into Naughty Dog, a Naughty Dog hate train that exists.
yeah, exactly.
But
Um,
yeah.
but yeah, I don't know. I just I'm hating on the game, but it's just like it's whatever. Like Herman, he just needs to
Yeah.
watch it, man.
Yeah, and I mean Avatar the Way of Water. I liked it. It's a pretty good movie. It's an anime movie. Yeah, Avatar's. I mean, Avatar: The Way of Water to me is like an anime movie. It's literally like the I don't want to call it like a coming of age story, but it kind of is. You know that like. And it kind of reminds me of like it's got that like Naruto like vibe, or like I'm sure One Piece is like this too, where you know, they go to the new region, you know, and it's like they're in the water area now, and the kids are learning the way of the people who live in the water and all that, and the parents are trying to adapt and, like, you know, live in that as well. And it's got, and then the villain from the first movie comes back, and, you know, he's a fucking asshole again, and all that. So it's you know, it's an anime. It's definitely an anime movie, and I that's why I like it though. It's you know, it's funny, it's familiar, and it's I think it's an interesting movie, but 2.3 billion dollar interesting. I don't know about that. I don't know why. It's interesting that it appeals to so many people, but
Yeah,
Horizon's kind of
I
in.
don't get either. So
Yeah, Horizon's in the same boat though, where like I think the story of Horizon is actually the most interesting part of the series, but I don't think a lot of people feel that way actually. Um, and I think a part of it's because of Aloy. Aloy is not an interesting character. She is, especially, dude. I don't know what they decided to do with her character direction in Forbidden West, but she sucks in Forbidden West. Like, she is like a terrible protagonist, bro. Like, she is just not interesting. She talks all the time. She literally talks to herself all the time. And then, like, when she's talking to other people, she's just like out of breath and exasperated and like feels annoyed that they're asking her for something. It's just like, she's just not a very engaging heroine in the game. Like, I just don't think she's not a very likable character personally. And I think but the reason that game ends up being good though is because they include a lot of other characters other than her. So it's not just her all the time, which is I think the only reason that the game is like palatable, honestly. So
okay.
it's yeah, or at least the story's palatable because of it. But conceptually, in terms of what the narrative is and the story it's telling, like, it is very interesting. Like, there's some really cool ideas in there, but it's just, you know, telling that in a movie form. Like, if they did it right, I think a Horizon movie could be good. You know, it's just, will they do it right? I don't know. I mean, is there reason to doubt Sony? I think they've actually done pretty good with their movies. A lot of like the reception of most of them so far for the game adaptations have been pretty good overall. So, you know, I guess we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see on that. All right, let's move on to our next story. Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's been delayed again by another month, and it is coming out now on March 20th this year instead of February 14th. Um, and then this is what they said, quote, as part of the renewed focus on gameplay quality and engaging day one experiences, it has been decided to provide an additional month of development to Assassin's Creed Shadows. This additional time will allow the team to better incorporate the player feedback gathered over the past 3 months and help create the best conditions for launch by continuing to engage closely with the increasingly positive Assassin's Creed community. The game is now scheduled for March 20th, end quote. Montrell, are you concerned?
No, it makes sense. I think they're trying to get away from the Monster Hunter release, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Little do they know, I don't think Xenoblade is a bigger threat, but
Hey,
yeah.
bro, you got Xenoblade and then Atelier Yumiya coming out the next day. I mean,
Oh yeah, I forgot about Atelier. That's crazy.
hey, man. I mean, no, those games aren't threats to Assassin's Creed.
No, it's not. Yeah, I
We'll
mean those
be
are two different.
let's be real for a second. They are for us. I will play either of those games over Assassin's Creed any day of the fucking week, but you know, most people aren't me, so I don't think that's going to be the case for most people.
Yeah,
But
like I'm not gonna play it first day, but I do want to play it. I think the gameplay they changes they made have been interesting, and
mhm,
everything of that nature. So, uh, I'm definitely gonna check it out, but it's probably not gonna be first day.
yeah. Yeah, and I mean I'm actually interested in the game too, but you know, it's just, it is kind of that week is now crazy. There are 3 games I'm potentially interested in within 2 days of each other, or within a day of each other, really. I definitely want to play Atelier for sure, and Xenoblade. So yeah. Um, but yeah, I'm with you though. I'm not really concerned about the game necessarily. I think it, it's just interesting. I'd be curious to know what they did though during this delay window. Like how much they actually changed, because I mean, you can't change a ton about a video game in that period of time, you know. It's kind
Well,
of
the
hard
combat
to.
definitely they changed for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but do you think that's the only focus? Do you think they did anything with the story or the kind of any of the pushback on that stuff? Or no, you
No,
think
I
it's
don't.
just
I
been
don't.
combat focused?
I think it's just been combat and traversal focus. I don't think they can do anything with the story. The characters are still there. The characters are who they are.
Yeah.
Um, it is what
Everything's
it is with that.
recorded.
Yeah, you can't.
Cutscenes
You
are
just can't.
made. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't just cut all that out.
Yeah.
They may rearrange some stuff for Yusuke's story.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah. Oh my god. I went into the comments on the
Oh,
IGN
see, you,
article.
you never do that. Never do that.
Hold on, I just want to read a couple of these. We need a laugh here. It's going to flop no matter when it releases. Same with Avowed and South of Midnight. Consumers are rejecting these awoken games. Western developers have to hit the reset button and start making normal games again if they want sales. And then Dr. Truth 1797 says these games were greenlit in the timeline that Kamala won, but we're in the timeline with Trump winning in a landslide. They made a huge bet and they bet on the wrong side. Now the pot meets kettle. Expect more shutdowns and layoffs this year. Even more so. Culture is shifting. Thank God.
Uh, So what's interesting about the South of Midnight? I was actually trying to look for
Yeah.
um, like just
Yeah.
gameplay, new gameplay footage of it or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
apparently, one of my friends, like one of my good friends, her cousin or something like that, is the community manager, the social community manager for I forgot what their name, the studio name is, unfortunately, but pretty much their Twitter and everything. Um, she said only thing she said in February, right, was like I hate gamers because they were coming at the studio crazy and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's all she tweeted. But yeah, people were getting upset at the game, calling it like a DEI game or whatever.
Yeah.
And so they released a trailer of it, of like gameplay footage, apparently on Twitter, and someone screenshot. I saw these through screenshots. I haven't been on Twitter, but like I guess a popular Twitter user or whatever in the gaming Twitter sphere said, uh, "Game looks interesting, but did they do a race swap?"
Yeah.
And that kind of triggered me because I'm like, this is an original story. How can they do a race swap with an original story? This
Yeah.
is like an original story, a brand new IP. Where did the
Yeah.
race swap come in? And anyway, I typed in like YouTube, I typed in South of Midnight, and bro, if you just type in South of Midnight, right? I typed in South of Midnight gameplay
Hmm.
and I typed in South of Midnight. The first thing that pops up, South of Midnight community manager attacks gamers. And it's like the
Yeah.
very first thing.
Yeah.
It's not even the gameplay, bro. It's the very first thing that pops up, bro.
Yeah.
And then it's another video that says I'm non-binary. And it's like don't buy like the game, and then yeah, just all this stuff hating on the game, calling it like a DEI game and other shit like
Yeah.
that. And I'm like, the
Yeah.
game has specified the game play I've seen so far, and the actual game has nothing to do with race outside the character just
Yeah.
being black. That's it.
Yeah. It's become, I don't know. Well, just to finish this discussion off with one more reply to Dr. Truth 1797. Crow Kuro says the game is French and Canadian. They don't give a fuck about Kamala. True, brother. True. You tell Dr. Truth, man. Get him. All right. Let's move on. Fucking Assassin's Creed's delayed. All right. Moving on. There's a little bit of a rumor happening with the studio or the director that worked on Grand Blue Fantasy. He was talking. Yasuyuki Kaji said that he is working on a new title. And yeah, he said he's working on a new title, and that Grand Blue Fantasy Relink was a success for the studio. And he is excited for what's next. So people are linking this into thinking that this is a kind of a, implied that this is going to lead to a Grand Blue Fantasy Relink sequel. Montrell, what do you think? You think they'll make another one of these games?
I think didn't the first one do well?
It did well. It did. I think it did really well, actually. But I think the thing is, like, the game's development was super tortured. So I don't know. Like, will the studio want to go down this road again? Like, try to make another one, or maybe now they got the pipeline figured out and they can make it. They can pump another game out pretty easily. But I mean, I guess my question to you is though, do you want a Grand Blue Fantasy Relink sequel? Do you think the game necessitates one?
um, I'm not sure. I think the gameplay is really good. Um,
Yeah.
I think the characters are really good. The story was incredibly short.
Yeah.
Um, I thought the
Yeah.
character, but the boss fights and everything like that, the moment to moment was really good though.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't know. Like, I just don't know what they could. I don't know what direction they're gonna go. Are they gonna continue? Are they gonna try to do the pay to win, or not pay to win, but the gotcha system
Gotcha.
that they clearly
Yeah.
wanted to do with the game, or are they going to just do a
Keep
full
it
fledged?
single player, yeah, with
Yeah,
co-op. Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Because yeah, for me, like, I like the game. I think I like the game more than you did, but um, ultimately, I don't think they can release a game structured in the same way as a sequel and get away with it. I don't. I would not be satisfied with that. I think if they're gonna make another game, it needs to be significantly larger. Not significantly, but like I mean, the game is like 10 hours, like literally. And for an RPG like this, that is just not. I know we talk about game length and games need to be shorter, but we don't need them to be that much shorter. Like, I don't need my 75-hour games to be 10 hours. Okay, like, I'm not asking for that, right? But it's like if they can get up to 30 or 40 hours, I think that would be very solid for the type of game Relink was. If they can make that game and then kind of make a game that's 30 or 40 hours with more areas, more exploration, and stuff like that, I think they could have a very successful game on their hands. Because I don't necessarily think they need the end game they had with Relink either. They might not need to go that deep, but maybe they do. If they do make a 30 to 40 hour game with end game as deep as Relink's was, dude, I think they could have something very successful in their hands. To be
yeah,
a very exciting game, frankly. So I hope they make a sequel, and I think it's in their best interest too. I think Grand Blue's kind of, I mean, Grand Blue's cool. It's like, I like the world that they kind of built with this with the game. It's just, I think a lot of the issues of the game stem from the fact though that it kind of almost relies on you having played the mobile game, to understand what's going on a lot of the time, because these characters are pre-existing and they're talking about events that happened in the mobile game, and it's like you don't really, it's just like it's very jarring to kind of get your bearings of what's going on in this world and where in this timeline it is and why these characters all know each other and where they're from, and all sorts of stuff like that, where I think another game that expands the world and kind of gives us more context for that stuff would be very cool as well, like, because this world is a bunch of like sky islands, right? So it's I think going to the different nations would be more interesting, because this game all takes place all in one place really for the most part, and I think seeing some of the rest of the world would be more interesting, and I think having it be more open world to some degree, not obviously not like fully, but I think this game was a little truncated in the level of exploration you could do. There was really only one level that was kind of open ended, where you kind of could go in a bunch of different directions and explore a bunch of stuff. For the most part, the rest of the levels were kind of linear, for the most part, and you didn't really get a lot of freedom with that. So I think in terms of the way the game plays and feels, it's excellent. Like, I think I think that's all good. I don't think they really need to do a whole lot there. I would like to see what I would like to see with the next game though is less characters, and you go a little deeper with each character. You know, with their gameplay systems and their move sets. You know,
Yeah,
I
I
think the
mean,
game. Yeah, good.
that's ultimately what I was going to say. I think they should. I actually think, and I know you feel differently about it, but I actually think they should just scrap the whole multiplayer and go straight single player.
Okay,
Make the
I think that's
story a
fine if
lot
that's what they
deeper.
want to do. I don't have a problem with that either. I don't think that's a bad idea. If that's what they wanted to do, I think that would work. It's just the game was very fractured in what it was trying to do. There's too many things going on, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but if you're gonna go the multiplayer route, then go the multiplayer route. You know, it's like I don't know. It's so I guess what you kind of want like a beefier game, like 60 or 70 hour game that is like a
Uh,
full fledged like single player RPG.
yeah, I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind like a 50 to 60 hour game.
Yeah.
Maybe you get 6 characters that you can swap in and out between. Um, and
More like
yeah,
a
like
Tales game
yeah,
with
more like a Tales
Granblue's
game.
gameplay.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I actually like their gameplay a lot. I think they had. I like their world too, like you said.
Yeah.
It just left a lot to be desired, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and I wasn't really into the multiplayer, unfortunately for me.
Yeah.
Multiplayer actually kind of reminded me of God Eater, and I was just like,
Okay.
it, yeah, it
Yeah.
just really didn't appeal to me. So, but I think I did want more of the single player and the story, and yeah, we just never got any of that, or whatever. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it could be a better I hate to say this, but I feel like if they went that route, it could be a better Tales, you know?
I could, yeah. I mean, Tails
Because
kind
I
of
think
fell off, so
I think the gameplay in this game is superior to the Tales games for
it
me,
is.
at least.
Yeah,
Or
to
I'd
me
say
it
the
is. So.
modern Tales games. You know, yeah, it felt really good as an action game, you know. And it had the boss fights were really cool. Like they were very. That's the thing. It's such a weird game, dude. It's a very like it's got Monster Hunter systems in it in terms of the crafting and the upgrading systems for your equipment.
Mhm.
But then you've got the boss fights that I would not say are Monster Hunter boss fights. They're more like MMO style boss fights, you know, like
Yeah,
Final Fantasy style, like 14 style boss fights. But then you have an action combat system and character control more like a true action game, you know, where it's like a character action game or something. It's like I don't it's just a very weird game in the way it's designed. It's just like pulling from all these different things. And I don't feel like it was focused enough. So that so regardless of what they do, I agree with you in principle. Like I don't necessarily know if I want them to go single player versus multiplayer, but pick something and stick to it, you know, and really go in on that. Don't make this game that's so like got so many disparate elements that don't necessarily fit together super well. I think
mhm.
that's the main issue with Relink. So but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, go ahead. You have anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay. All right, Montreal. Moving on. This one's for us. We got another Xenoblade Chronicles X trailer today, baby. Are you
Random ass
excited? Are you
Thursday.
hyped?
What is Nintendo doing? Who is running this shit on a random ass Thursday? They're
Brother,
like,
they love Monolith Soft, okay? I'm just
but
saying.
they didn't
Why
do
is there another
anything.
trailer for this game at all? It's a fucking remaster for a fucking it's 10-year-old game or 9-year-old game. What like
I
I
truly think
don't
I truly think a lot of people did not play this game.
they
A
didn't. No,
lot.
you're totally correct. You're totally
So to a
correct.
lot of people, this is like a brand
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
Xenoblade game.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I looked at the trailer and
Game looks
yeah,
good, man.
it
Graphically,
does, man. It
I'm
does.
impressed. They redid the interface for the game, it looks like. Kind of
Thank
revamped the
God.
UI, which the
Thank
UI in
God.
the game is pretty bad. From what I remember. They redid the map, which I told you they'd figure that shit out. You know, you don't need the fucking
I
touchpad.
personally think they should have hid the mech part. It would have been a
Yeah.
cool surprise for a lot of people. But I mean, the mech was teased on the actual
Yeah, I mean the original
box.
game they teased
Yeah.
the mech too. Like it's not like that was a hidden thing. So I think it doesn't matter, Montreal, because most people are gonna be like 40 hours into the game and like, when do I get my fucking mech, dude? Where's the mech? And it's like still 10 hours away or whatever. So yeah, I think the thing I'm most excited about with the trailer though is dude, they showed some story cutscenes that I don't remember.
You're
So
just old, Justin.
I mean you're probably right, but I think at the end though, clearly the stuff with
No,
Lao
they
at the end is
yeah,
definitely new.
that's new. That's definitely new for sure.
Yeah. Some of the stuff in the middle, I think I just forget some of it. But yeah, that stuff with Lao at the end is most definitely new. So I think there's definitely some new story in the game.
I actually
Um
wonder if they like redid a lot of it like from scratch to get the story to be more what they wanted it to be on the
Cohesive,
first game.
yeah.
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 Because remember we both said this one has the worst story, and I'm wondering if they're trying to fix that, like at least get a more cohesive story, like you
Yeah.
said.
Well, dude, that region they showed at the end of the trailer too, with all the floating islands or
Mhm.
whatever, that's I don't remember that from the game, dude. Like I don't think that's in the game. I think that might be new. So
Yeah.
um yeah, because that was kind of the ending of the trailer. So I think that's a whole new area too.
So
Which
one
is
thing I can't
interesting.
remember, did they have the follow orbs?
What do you mean?
So if you go to 110 or 108,
Okay.
you can put like follow orbs out.
Oh, to, like tell you where to go.
Yeah, did they have those
Um
before?
We're old. I'm just gonna say I don't. I
If
don't.
not, I think
think.
that's really cool.
I think it was in the game in some form. It might not have been that exact form though.
Yeah, okay.
Um.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but hey, man, seeing these
Also,
Mac.
it did look like they toned down the Final Fantasy or the Fantasy Star look. It looks more akin to like Xenoblade now.
Um.
The character models.
I agree and disagree. I think it still has a Fantasy Star look. Ultimately. Um.
I don't know. It was more shinier. Like this one's more. It's not as shiny as it was in the Wii version, the Wii U version.
Yeah.
When I mean shinier, it's not like a good shiny. It was like you remember how everything was like kind of aggressively shiny in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
Um,
mean, go to like 120. You're gonna tell me that's not shiny? Like when he gets in the mech and the mech's like, come on.
it's shiny, but it's not like Fantasy Star shiny. It's like
Yeah, I know. And they don't have the
yeah,
giant anime eyes that Fantasy Star
yeah,
does. Oh my god, that shit is so
yeah.
unsettling at this point in my life. Like they're so weird looking. But one other thing, so at around 150-ish in the trailer, there's a new character that I don't think that is from the original game either. So
That's definitely not from the original game. I don't know who this character is.
yeah, so there's like a new character, maybe a new type of mech, it looks like as well. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot to pick apart in this trailer, and I'm excited.
Yeah,
um
I almost pre-ordered because I was like, no, gotta stand on my two
no, you don't.
two
Yeah,
feet. Yeah,
stick with your guns, man. You don't have to pre-order it, okay? Um but no, this game looks sick, dude. I mean, it is sick, we know it. but but yeah, no, I mean, for those of you who haven't played it before, man, I mean, I cannot recommend this game more. Like, trust me when I say this, do not mainline this game. Like, I mean, the game doesn't really let you mainline it. We'll see if they change that at all. But
they might.
do the
Yeah.
side content though in this game. The side quests, do them. This is a very rich universe here that they have created that is really fucking cool. And very I'd put it in like very Mass Effect esque with the different races they created and the cultures they all seem to have and stuff. There's a lot in the game. These trailers don't really show you any of that because they're not super involved in the main story, but there's a lot of different alien races in this game besides just humans. So it's a lot of cool stuff with that.
Oh my god, Justin,
Yeah.
dude, go to 141 and
Okay.
pause it. Besides the
141.
UI, yeah, and then pause it. Besides the UI, look at the top left hand, right hand side.
Overdrive counter
They got the
guidance.
fucking combo guide up there, dude. Oh, I don't have to memorize this shit
Bro.
anymore.
Oh, okay. Oh, for the overdrive. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. That's fucking cool, man. Okay. Okay. Oh, all right. They increased the level cap too, people are saying, which, dude, I remember playing this game. And when I hit level 60, I was so disappointed. I was like, fuck, dude. I was like, that's it. So everything I'm doing from here on out is like kind of pointless. It's like, I definitely remember being disappointed by that. So,
I read the comments and I'm like, somebody was like, on screen overdrive combo guide. Our prayers have been answered. I'm like, no. And I looked for it and I was like, oh, it is there. I don't have to memorize the fucking overdrive combos anymore.
yep. Yep. So, no, dude, this is good stuff. This is what we live for. Okay.
Yeah, apparently they
um,
give you actual instructions on how to do it too.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, this is a
But
real
yeah,
remaster. Holy shit. Okay.
what is going on with Nintendo though? I don't really understand. Like they won't announce the Switch 2 and they've got Xenoblade Chronicles X on a fucking island, in the middle of March. Um like are they expecting this game to sell? I wonder. I wonder about that. I mean, to your point though, maybe for a lot of people like this is just going to be like a new game, It's like a new Xenoblade Chronicles
I
game.
I truly
Um
believe just a lot of people didn't play this game. Like a lot of people didn't play this game.
yeah.
Um we're like a very this is a cult following like me and
Yeah.
you.
We're a rare
Um
breed.
yeah, like
Yeah.
so a lot I think Xenoblade Chronicles 2 brought a lot of people into the Xenoblade ethos,
Yeah.
and then obviously 3 expanded that, and then Shulk being on Smash expanded that.
Well, they did
Um
definitive edition of the
they
first
did
game
it
as well.
and that
So,
sold really well.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I yeah, I think they're expecting this one to I would be surprised if it doesn't hit 5 million, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
That's a lot. I don't know if it'll sell that much.
I think it would sell 5 million.
Hold on. Let's look at Xenoblade Chronicles 3 sales. As of March 2023, it sold 1.86 million copies. So, yeah, I don't.
Okay.
This is look. We got to keep this in context, okay? Xenoblade Chronicles is getting bigger, but it's not big. Like it's not. 5 million would be a fucking smash success for this game. So, if we get a couple million though, that's huge, dude. That's a lot. That's more than the original sold. I think that would be big. I'm hoping that people get into this and they really like it and they like the difference of it between compared to the other 3 games, in that trilogy, and it kind of shows Nintendo and Monolith Soft that maybe a sequel here on this side of the fence is potentially worth it in the future because I
Well,
desperately want a sequel to this game. Like
I say this, Justin, but Xenoblade Chronicles sold 500 copies, 500K copies, and then it's some people said that Xenoblade Chronicles X before this obviously sold 800,000 copies.
yeah,
I mean, that's a big number comparative to what
yeah,
console it's on and everything like that. So
yeah. Yeah. No, it I think it got over 1 million actually, like X did. But
really, damn.
yeah, well, so okay, so I found a article from Gaming Bolt. So I don't know how reputable this is. They said this was from November 6, 2024. Xenoblade Chronicles series sells 7.17 million units on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, I got that
Um,
from Reset Terra as well.
okay, which I think these are real numbers because Nintendo they just released the numbers for their shit. So yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition sold 1.88 million. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 sales total 2.7 million, not including the Torna DLC, and then 3 has sold 1.86 million as of March 2023.
And then if you look at, so they have 3 Wii U and 3DS titles as well. But
Yeah.
Xenoblade Chronicles sold 1.4 million.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it definitely did sell a decent amount of copies, especially in Japan. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming like, yeah, I don't know. I think Japan and the UK are the main people keeping up the Xenoblade Chronicles franchise, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Those 2 regions are always big on JRPGs, and sometimes they just get JRPGs that we don't get over here in America in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, 5 million, that would be so fucking crazy. Hey man, if it happens, whew, ooh, we're gonna be celebrating. But no, I could see a million or two for sure. That would be it's probably more realistic. But um, again, play this game March 20th. It rules. It's definitely worth your time. And yeah, I mean, if you want more of that sweet, sweet Xenoblade Chronicles 1 gameplay, it's right here. This game's got it for you. And it's better. It's better in this game too. So, um, but I just look forward to exploring the map again, dude. The music in this game is so underrated. You know, this is Hiroyuki Sawano's um work. This is kind of in the middle of him becoming famous with the Attack on Titan stuff that he's done. Um he worked on the soundtrack for this game, and this is a very much a
I didn't
Sawano
know that.
soundtrack.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
Yeah. Yeah, I've
That's why
said
that
this on the
sound.
podcast before.
That's
Totally.
that's why that soundtrack is so fucking dope. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
man. Yeah, dude. No, it rules. I mean, so yeah, no, he did this soundtrack, and it's a banger. Like it's so good. The just like running around, like the overworld, the themes when you're exploring each region, like are fucking awesome. The day and night themes for each one. Um and there's just a lot of really good songs. So cool. Great game. We will be playing it certainly, and talking about it here on the show. All right, Montreal, we've got one more story, and it is November Circana numbers for the video game industry. So just going through it real quick here. Total video game sales for November 2024 were 5.755 billion this year versus 6.171 billion last year. That is a 7% decrease. Pretty significant. Video game content, physical and digital game sales, microtransactions, etc. 4.455 billion this year versus 4.889 billion last year, a 9% decrease. And then video game hardware, 927 million this year versus 924 million last year. That's basically flat. Video game accessories, 373 million this year versus 358 million last year. It's a 4% increase. And then for the year, through the end of November, 2024, 51.116 billion versus 51.012 billion last year. That is a 0% change, basically flat, close to flat. Video game content, 44.878 billion this year versus 43.796 billion last year. It's a 2% increase. And then video game hardware, 3.742 billion this year versus 4.897 last year. That's a 24% decrease in hardware sales. Video game accessories, 2.495 billion this year versus 2.9319 billion last year, 8% increase overall. Also noted here from Matt Piscatella from Circana that the hardware sales for the month were boosted by the PlayStation 5 Pro, specifically, obviously, PlayStation 5's boost in sales come in part from the launch of the PlayStation 5 Pro. Quote, PlayStation 5 accounted for 19% of the total PlayStation 5 units sold in the month, 28% of dollars. Launch month dollar sales of the PlayStation 5 Pro were more than 50% higher than the November 2016 launch month sales of PlayStation 4 Pro, while units were 12% lower. So they made more money but sold less units. Obviously makes sense. Console is significantly more expensive than the PS4 Pro was, relatively speaking. So, any thoughts on those numbers?
I think the industry right now is in the stagnation. I think people
Right.
are just waiting for the
Yeah.
next big thing.
Makes you wonder. I mean, do you think this is indicative of something? Like, are we waiting for innovation? You know, in some way, like, is like all the, because I mean we talked about this recently, where it just feels like the industry is a little stagnant is the word, right? Where it just
Yeah.
there's not a lot of different things happening right now. Like it's just companies are just kind of making the same games over and over again. And while that's enough to make money, they're not growing the industry that way though, right?
Yeah, I think I don't know. I don't really want to sound too political, but I'll say it anyway. I think right now the inflationary price in video games and the constant growth is catching up with it. And I
Yeah.
feel like we're in the scale back phase of video games.
Mm.
There's only so many microtransactions you can exploit. There's only so many like there's only so much things people want to buy to where they go to their go to. So obviously, like places like Fortnite's not going anywhere, Call of Duty's not going anywhere, Madden's not going anywhere. Like these are your heavy staples that aren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
And then everyone's trying to like emulate that. But we're starting to see all those emulations fall off because while it's good to have some type of like competition in that space, you also have to be really good at said competition. Um, so I
Mhm.
just think the capitalistic nature of the video game industry is kind of catching up with it. And now it's been going on for it actually been going on for quite a while. I would say since like maybe 2015, it blew up like really
Mhm.
big. And now I think it's starting to actually kind of regress right now. I mean, a lot of other people would say I was actually reading some stuff about this the other day, and I was just on Reddit, like the Reddit gaming or whatever, general gaming, and a lot of people were thinking, or some people were saying it's because of all like the quote unquote like wokeness stuff or the culture war. Well, I
Yeah.
actually do think that does play a big role or a significant role in this.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as big as uh the more capitalistic nature and shark nature of what's happening to the industry. I think the industry right now has too many suits in it.
Mhm.
Um and all they know how to do is exploit and
Yeah.
they don't know how to scale back or I think people just want video games to come back. I think in both aspects, people are tired of the political thing on both sides of the spectrum, and people are tired of the monetary thing on both sides of the spectrum. I think people just want really good video games. You can have your cash cows like your Call of Duties and your Fortnites and even your League of Legends and stuff like that. But ultimately, people just want a good game at the end of the day that they
Yeah.
can come back and play and stuff like that. So I think
Yeah.
right now, the reason why you see the sales declines is because people are just regressing back to their comfort games or even just scaling back
Mm.
in general, gaming in general. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say, I mean, this is anecdotal, but like some people are just like our age. Um, they're like, I'm not really into gaming like that anymore. Like, I'm falling out of love with games and stuff like that, and I could easily see that because some of us have kids now. Uh, some of us uh just go back to playing older games. Like I find myself just playing older games. Uh,
Yeah.
beside or games that have that older game feeling, like Metaphor, obviously,
Mhm.
Wukong, Stellar Blade, and all those games like that that make me feel like I'm playing an older game. Um, but like yeah, like the newer games really don't appeal to me. The newer shooters really don't appeal to me. Even for
Yeah.
shooters in general, right? Like uh, that I think that started to implode in itself because like the dads that come home that are us now because we're the unks now, we're the dads and stuff like that. Uh, we come home and we turn on Call of Duty and then we were playing against a 21-year-old who's been sitting at home all day, fucking eating Cheetos and playing the fucking game, at
Mhm.
college level, and he's like
Yeah.
super good, bouncing off walls and shit. We're like, dog, I just want to play the fucking game. I just
Yeah.
want to get a couple kills and log off. Like I don't feel like having to go to YouTube and learn how to do all this shit. Like,
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, I think that's having a thing. The only game I think is like really surviving. I mean, obviously Call of Duty Black Ops is because they have like good matchmaking in a larger community and like Madden and stuff like that. But everything else, I mean, we were talking about it off fucking Mike about like Apex, and I'm getting Apex news every week of people are like, I'm leaving Apex, I'm leaving
Yeah.
Apex, and it's
Yeah.
like, yeah, like no, we were playing that game every day, and then
Yeah.
I just quit cold turkey. Like I've never done that for like a video game. Like I said I was gonna do that for League of Legends, which I did quit it for like 4 months. I think I stopped playing it
You
for,
always
and I
come
came
back.
back. Yeah, I came back to it. But like Apex, I haven't touched that game in literally a year and a half. Yeah, I was like that's crazy to me. I just quit that game,
It's like
and
2 and a
that's
half for me, I think. Like, it's a
yeah.
long
You
time.
quit it
Like,
before me. Yeah, I
oh,
think it's
I
about
quit it
two and a
way
half
before you
years.
guys did, dude. I
Yeah,
quit it. I know it was to the point where it was like you guys kept being like, "Ah, Justin, come back, man, come back." You know what the fuck? You don't want to play Apex? Like, I was like, no, dude, I don't want to fucking play Apex. Okay, dude, it's interesting. I'm gonna be honest. Like, think about this, right? We because League's obvious the obvious comparison as
Yeah.
they're similar games. We get very mad at League, to the point where we're like fucking like screaming, sometimes, and yet we keep coming back to it, and like Apex did the same thing, but eventually we stopped coming back to it. Like I just Apex, like I hit a wall with that game at some point where um they lost the fun, you know? They fucked the game up to the point where it wasn't they didn't take care of the game where
There it is right there. They did not take care of the game. That's
yeah,
the number one thing everyone complains about.
yeah,
EA literally, if you talk to Respawn cares about the game. EA didn't want to fund Respawn to care about the game, which is
yeah.
totally opposite of. And this is another thing too that really gets me about these games that try to copy the success of other games. They don't understand the money and the time that goes into making these games. The reason why, even though I don't like Call of Duty Black Ops, the reason why Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is so good is because they put time and money into that game. After the game is launched, they're still supporting, they're still patching it.
Yeah, you
They're
sent the
still
budgets, dude, for the last several, like a bunch of the Call of Duty games recently. They're all like 600 million, 700 million.
yeah.
It's like they're putting a lot of money into making sure these games are good.
Exactly. And then I can only imagine what Fortnite's pumping out. I can only imagine what like GTA's pumping out. And so it's like they put time and effort into these games. And that's why Fortnite never falls off. That's why like Call of Duty never falls off. But then you see
Right.
Apex, which everyone unanimously agrees, even people that come from Call of Duty who play Apex, like, man, this has one of the best gunplays I've ever played in a fucking shooter.
Yeah.
And they just can't capitalize off of it because they, like you said, they just and it, like yeah, I like how you also said we were getting angry. I think the reason why we get angry in League of Legends and then compare it to like uh Apex, right, is
Yeah.
because there's a gradual climb, like as far as like getting better at the game. Like we like the other day when we were playing, like after we like climbed to silver, we were like, okay, now we're starting to see our mistakes. Now we're starting to see like maybe we just need to play one or two champions, and that's
Yeah.
fucking it, and all that
Yeah.
shit like that.
Yeah.
And you have the tools also for us to climb and get better. We can look at review, we got VOD reviews, we got stats and everything. We can look at how much gold we're accumulating, blah, 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 all that shit. Apex is there is no replay.
Oh, I can't believe that. Is that still not in the game, or did they
It's
finally
still
put that
not.
in?
They're still
That's
not in the game.
unbelievable for a game that's trying to be wants to be an esport. Are you kidding me? Like dude, that is one of the most key things to improve yourself is watching replays. Like because dude, seriously, I think about Apex, right? And like we got better at that game for sure. Like I say
Oh
we
yeah,
were actually, I
100%.
like
We were
I
good
actually
as
think
fuck.
we were above average at Apex overall.
No,
It's
we
just
were
that
good as fuck.
the game was
We,
so broken in terms of matchmaking and predators and smurfs and just cheaters and shit that it just felt like we weren't that good at the game. But I think we were like actually above average at the game. So, but the thing is, if we had replays, I would have loved to go watch our movement in a game and understand where other teams were and what we saw and how we reacted, and did we miss something? Did we go the wrong way? Did we take the wrong? You can't even check those things because there's no replay system. Like, how do you improve yourself? It's so stupid,
well,
man. Like,
that's
I
the
don't know.
that's the thing. I think that's the main thing we talked about too, right? And then obviously with I think the major contributing factor for both of all four of us actually, me, you, Brad, and Jet, we League had cheaters, and then they damn near disappeared overnight. Like over the
Yeah.
course of 1 month, when
Yeah.
Vanguard came out, scripters were gone. Almost all the scripters were gone.
Yeah,
Almost
I
all the
mean, I
cheaters.
will say you're not kidding about that. Smurfs are still a problem,
The
but
Smurfs is still a problem. Yeah,
the cheaters, they definitely did something about it. It's not. I don't even remember the last time I thought somebody was scripting. Um,
Exactly.
like it's been a while. Like I don't like, and we used to say it often, like fairly
Yeah,
often. Like I'd say at least once a week we were saying that in a game.
and we haven't said that. We haven't uttered the word scripter. We're just like, oh, they're a
Month or
Smurf.
two, like
Yeah,
yeah, a month or two, and
and
yeah, it's not. It's mostly Smurfs, and I mean the Smurfs definitely exist, for sure, and that is a problem. But I actually even think even that isn't as prevalent as it was either.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I like, as much as we get mad at Riot and it's very easy to get angry at the game, like I think I actually give them credit. Like they are working to make the game better.
Well,
Like they
that's
want the game to be a fun experience for their players.
well, you see where the money's going, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
have a bounty system out on their fucking Vanguard thing. Where like, if you break Vanguard, we'll give you 100 grand just to break it. So
Yeah.
like, they have these things in place and everything. Whereas with Apex, I don't mind actually don't mind getting killed by a Smurf because then I can learn from that Smurf. I can look at the replay because we don't have that, and I can learn from that Smurf.
Right.
But we were getting killed by legitimate hackers like all the fucking
Oh,
time.
constantly, dude. It was every game almost like had a one squad probably that was hacking for sure, or had a
Yeah,
hacker in it.
yeah. So I that tie all that back into like the original conversation. I think all this like companies are starting to see like, oh, this what it takes to keep this. We have to spend millions of dollars to get billions of dollars. Yes, that's why these games are the way they are, and I think that's why we're seeing everything being condensed right now because now they can't squeeze every penny out of it because one, players are tired of it, and then two, the economy is just not there to support that type of infrastructure anymore, and it's leading to all these layoffs and stuff like that.
Hmm. Yep. All right. Top 20 best selling games in November. Number 1, EA Sports College Football 25. Number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Number 3, Helldivers 2. Number 4, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Oh wait, sorry. I'm reading the full year list. My bad. November 2024. Let's start over. Number 1, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Number 2, Madden NFL 25. Number 2, EA Sports FC 25. Number 4, EA Sports College Football 25. Number 5, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. Number 6, Super Mario Party Jamboree. Number 7, Mario and Luigi Brothership. Number 8, Sonic Cross Shadow Generations. Number 9, NBA 2K25. Number 10, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Number 11, Hogwarts Legacy. Number 12, Dragon Quest 3. Number 13, Astrobot. Number 14, Marvel Spider-Man 2. Number 15, Silent Hill 2. Number 16, Undisputed. Number 17, Metaphor Refantazio. Number 18, Minecraft. Number 19, My Sims Cozy Bundle. What the fuck? Number 20, Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection Arcade Classics. Sneaking in there. What the hell? From number 87. Anything jumping out to you there?
Uh, no, not really. To be honest with you, actually, I'm still surprised that Spider Man is still on his list. Actually, no,
Well,
I'm
we'll
thinking
see
about
that in a
Miles
second.
Morales. I'm
Well,
thinking
no,
about
we'll see
Miles.
that in a second. Spider-Man 2 had a surge this fall. It seems
Okay.
like, I don't know if they had a sale going on or something with it, or maybe it was bundled in with a console or something. But there was a significant surge in sales for this game the last couple months. So, yeah, and for me, Super Mario Party Jamboree, hold actually going up a rank. What the fuck? Same with Sonic and Shadow. I guess the movie probably helped with that somewhat.
Yeah.
Coming out, which is that is really good timing, by the way. Well done, Sega, on that, making sure you had a game ready with the movie. And then yeah, I don't know. I mean, dude, Hogwarts Legacy's still on here. It's just fucking crazy.
It's
Um,
so crazy that game doesn't get the respect it deserves. Like it's
yeah,
obviously doing something really well, and
clearly,
Warner Brothers
clearly.
is just like, we don't really
Let's do
care
a
about
live
it.
service game. Ooh! And what's the fucking Quidditch game? Like, is it already shut down or whatever? I don't like. I
Probably,
know
I don't fucking know, bro. Like,
nobody's talking about that fucking game. It's like, so he turned the Warner Brothers CEO into Mickey or some shit.
I mean, because they're acting like it, dude. They're just making moves that doesn't make
Let's
any
make
fucking
another
sense.
live service game, guys.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. I'm actually surprised. So, uh, the first list, not the second one, but the first one,
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Age was number 6, which is very interesting because
Last month.
yeah, last month, I totally forgot to talk about this game in my game of year discussion, and I was
Oh, you
trying to
feel
remember.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel bad. I was trying to remember all the games I played. I played so many fucking games though.
Isn't that an indictment on the game, Montrell? Ha ha ha! Gotcha.
No, not really.
I'm
I mean,
just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I
I'm
played
kidding.
so many good games, but it's not. Yeah, it just doesn't. It's up there, but it had a lot of contenders, man. It had a lot of contenders this year, you know. So
yeah.
But I think it's still a good game.
Dragon Quest 3 at 12 too actually is notable, I'd say.
Yeah. I just don't like Dragon Quest.
I mean, that is a traditional ass JRPG, as traditional as it gets.
Yeah, so, for sure. You're definitely right about that.
I am personally a little surprised by that, but I am biased though. I fucking hate those games, so I just, dude, I
think this is the first person version of Dragon Quest.
No. This is the 2D HD remake they did for 3.
Okay.
I mean, okay, all right. Let me take this back. I don't hate Dragon Quest. Okay, I played Dragon Quest. What was it, 9? I think on the DS, and I actually beat that game, and I did enjoy it. There's something whimsical about Dragon Quest. Okay, and the monsters and the abilities and the classes and stuff in those games, like. There's something very whimsical and like nostalgic about it all, right? Even though, which is funny because I never played a Dragon Quest game before 9, but at the same time, the issue that I have is it's just a traditional turn-based combat, which is literally, I don't think I could think of a more boring video game combat system if I fucking tried, you know? Like, I just cannot stand traditional JRPG turn-based combat, like with very little like flavor to it. It's literally you take turn, they take turn, you take turn, they take turn, you take turn, they take turn. There's nothing to it. It's not like Octopath where you like, you know, you have all these like special ways to like bundle turns together and shit, or like Bravely Default and stuff like that. It's just, it's
Justin, don't you like Persona? Yeah. This turn-based as well. Ooh.
But that's what I mean. It's those games have okay. Well, hold on, troll. Let me answer you. No, I don't like Persona's combat that much. I said that last week. If you listen to the fucking podcast, you know, when I was talking about Metaphor, I don't like Persona's combat that much. I don't think it's that good because it is kind of just like Dragon Quest. So Metaphor is better because it's got some wrinkles to it. There's a little bit more thought and strategy to it, you know? When it's just I go, you go, it's brainless. You're just like, use your most powerful attack until they're dead. And then if you need to heal, you heal. It's just, there's nothing to it. It's just stupid. Like, I don't think it's interesting. Whereas with like Metaphor, you need to think about like, whose turn is more valuable? Okay, do I want to pass my turn so that person gets an extra turn this round? You know, like if Stroll's ripping a boss apart, I want him to go multiple times. So I'm going to pass my turns so he can go twice. You know, it's like there's a little more strategy to it. Do I need to heal twice this round? Do I need to revive somebody and heal? I need to get that character multiple turns. You know, it's like, do I want to exploit a weakness here to get an extra turn? Basically, you know, it's like there's just strategy to it in Metaphor. It's like,
yeah.
You know, whereas games like Dragon Quest just do not have that. It's and like the original Final Fantasy games, the first like 3, also don't really have a whole lot of strategy to them. They're kind of brainless for the most part. Some of the bosses challenge you to some degree. I will admit, like it's not totally completely brainless, but like the random battles are stupid as fuck. Like it's literally you just use your most powerful attack command and you win the game. You know, it's like it's just I don't know. So that's my fucking rant on Dragon Quest. I don't care if you like it. Okay, it's fine. You can like the game. We all have different tastes. All right. Top 20 games for the year up through the end of November. Number 1, EA Sports College Football 25. Number 2, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Number 3, Helldivers 2. Number 4, Dragon Ball Sparking 0. Number 5, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Number 6, Madden NFL 25. Number 7, EA Sports FC 25. Number 8, EA Sports MVP Bundle. Number 9, Elden Ring. Number 10, Dragon's Dogma 2. Number 11, MLB The Show 24. Number 12, WWE 2K24. Number 13, Hogwarts Legacy. Number 14, Grand Theft Auto 5. Number 15, Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Number 16, Tekken 8. Number 17, NBA 2K24. Number 18, Minecraft. Number 19, Madden NFL 24. Number 20, Marvel Spider-Man 2. So to my point earlier, Spider-Man 2 has had a surge late in the year this year, and it is in the top 20 best-selling games for the year. So, Montrell, this list, I think we talked about this last year too, like at some point when we got to the end of the year. How depressing are these to read every year? It's just like sports game, Call of Duty, sports game, Call of Duty, sports game, Call of Duty, sports game, live service game, Call of Duty, sports game, Minecraft, Grand Theft Auto 5, and then like 5 games that aren't those. It's like, Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, dude.
I don't really fight it anymore. I just let it happen now. I'm
Yeah.
just like, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, even Madden's never going anywhere, and Call of Duty's never going anywhere unless Call of Duty has like the worst game to ever come out. But then, even then, someone will make a YouTube video talking about how that game was actually the best game ever, and sales will go up again. So, like, I don't know, man. The only game that I can like really give credit to is like maybe Grand Theft Auto. Like that game actually tries. You see, and the Call of Duty games, obviously. All right, like, I mean, just because I don't like them, I don't like what they turned into. I can't sit here and say like they're terrible games, right? I don't like them. I think they're the same shootery. Well, Black Ops 6 kind of changed everything. I just think they come out too frequently, in my opinion, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
I don't think they give enough room to like let one game breathe before the next game's coming out already.
Yeah.
But with like EA College Sports and Madden, I mean, I feel like those games are just slops. Like,
Yeah.
they are, man. I'm sorry.
Sports slop. Yeah.
Yeah, like, and I know like my friend Chris, because he primarily plays sports games. Like he would tell me the difference, right? And Madden, like the little difference between Madden 21 and 22 and 23 and 24. And it's just like at the end of the day, I don't fucking care, bro. To me, they look like the same shit. Like none of this shit has been improved. There is no like my player mode. I mean, they do have one, but you get like 5 faces and then 28 faces, but they're all the same faces. I mean, like, I don't know. And then like the simple fact that like little stuff like when you go into practice mode or training mode, they have the same thing from the last year on the fucking side of the thing. It just spews like they don't fucking care about y'all. Like they just like,
Yeah.
This is what it is. And then I actually don't like Madden Ultimate Team. I think that's one of the biggest. That is one of the biggest things to ever like
It ruined
grace.
sports games, dude.
Yeah.
Really did.
Same thing for like NBA 2K. I mean, obviously NBA 2K is not even on this fucking list. It is actually. I'm sorry, it is. But
It's low though. It's low, dude. This is really low for NBA 2K24. Like, oh, sorry, 24, 25. Where's 25?
Yeah, 25 is not even on the fucking list.
25. That's what we were talking about, dude. Like 25, 2K, NBA 2K25 is not even on the list. Like is this serious? Like, I know DJ talked to us about this, that like people are fed up with this series, but is NBA 2K like in the midst of collapsing right now?
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
it's crazy that it's not on the top 20 list 2 months, 3 months after it launches. Like,
I will give 2K, the 2K community, I will give them their credit, man. Like they speak with their fucking wallets. I think the breaking point for them was this year, but it started like 2 or 3 years ago. Remember the Pachinko machine?
Yeah, I remember that. Oh my god!
I think it started with that. Like it was like a little that seed was being sowed.
Yeah.
But I think 25 combined with like the shooting mechanics aren't good. The RPG mechanics, like DJ said, because it does have in-depth RPG mechanics as far as like building your character and with the kind of role you want to play within the team.
Yeah,
it used to be really in depth, and I think they fucked that shit up.
Oh no. Okay.
and then you get something called VC, which you use to either put points into your character, the stats, or you can buy clothing. You can pretty much like role play your character to the extent of like buying a car,
Yeah.
buying clothes to make your character look a certain type of way when you're walking outside the game, walking around the street. It's almost like NBA GTA type
Yeah.
game, to
Yeah.
be honest with you. So you're really role playing, which is why I love which is why I harp on Madden so much for their role playing side of their my career, my player mode,
Yeah.
because
It's so bad. Yeah.
yeah, it's so bad. Compared to like 2K. But like yeah, but 2K, like the mechanics are all going to the side for like more money. You gotta spend more money to get the VC points. You can't just play the single player mode and get VC points anymore. You gotta spend money to
Yeah.
get it now.
Yeah.
And then I think the final straw was that shooting game they released. The
Mm.
gravity ball, or whatever the fuck it was called. Uh
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Yeah.
um and it
Oh
looked
my
like
god.
Fortnite, and people were
What
fed
the
up.
fuck, dude? Like, what have they been doing over there, dude? No, because I remember the pachinko year. That was at 22 or 23, maybe. I don't
I
remember,
want to
but
say it was 23, but
I
I think
want
it
to
was
say it was
22.
23. Yeah, it was one of those. But dude, wasn't that the year too that they had like the Kobe Bryant edition or whatever of the game? Like
Oh
this is
yeah,
shortly after he died, he passed away or whatever. It's like,
yeah.
how fucking scummy could they possibly be? It's like, yeah, it I don't know. So I'm not necessarily surprised by this, but it is interesting to see it actually happen, because I
Yeah.
mean, it's so merciless on the EA side with you got college football on top, you got fucking Madden at 6, you got EA Sports FC at fucking 7, they got their stupid MVP bundle at fucking 8. It's like they got 4 fucking slots here for their shitty ass fucking sports games. And it's like the EA fans just eating up the fucking slop. So it's nice to see a fan base actually standing up and speaking with their wallet, when they don't have another option on the NBA side, dude, really. Like,
Then
so
what's crazy is EA won't take advantage of it because the NBA
right,
license is open. Anybody can make an NBA game.
right, right. But it's like they have their opportunity right now for sure, and they should be working on. I mean, I'm sure they're working on an NBA Live game, but they need to release one because, there definitely is an opportunity to strike here. But point being that like it's actually heartening to see, as much as we've been ranting over the years and railing at these games and the fan bases of these games, to see a fan base who does not have another realistic option for an NBA basketball game
They just play last year's version of it.
turn against their game and not buy it. That is encouraging. I really hope it happens with Madden someday. Like, I really do. I mean, can you imagine in 2035, 10 years from now, we're still talking about this, dude?
I think it's gonna. I think
Like,
as long as Roger Goodell runs the NFL, this
he
is
does
gonna be
not
business.
give a fucking flying fuck, man. When somebody asked him, I remember somebody went up to him and asked him, "Hey Roger, the license is almost up for Madden, and you guys thinking about expanding it out and letting other people make games or whatever, to kind of compete with them?" And he was like, "We love our partners at EA. We think they do a great job making Madden. Madden is the official football game of the NFL. And it's like, okay, all right, dog, you're a fucking robot. Like, you
Well,
don't
I
even
think
know what the
DJ.
fuck is going on with Madden, dude. Like, he has no
I,
idea."
I think DJ said, I don't know if it was you or DJ, but he told me that he read something where the NFL was actually super mad that 2K was selling their games at half off just to compete with Madden. They didn't like that.
Yeah, back in '05, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And like
Yeah.
that's why they did what they did. I mean,
Yeah.
that added fuel to the fire of why they did what they did with the exclusivity.
Yeah, and fuck the NFL too. They can go suck my fucking dick, okay? You greedy sons of fucking bitches, okay? Is like, let the companies do what they fucking want, okay? If they want to compete, let them compete, okay? Like, dude, NBA or NFL 2K5 was huge for NFL games, okay? I think it brought a lot of people in that didn't traditionally play because it was $20 fucking dollars, and but what does it matter? I mean, it's not like it's eroded in 20 years since that game came out. I mean, dude, we are literally at the 20-year mark, Montrell, since 2K5 came out.
Yeah,
And
that's true. And
I
I still
mean,
think about that game.
We all do, but people keep playing Madden and they keep buying Madden and they're playing Ultimate Team. So I need people on that side of the fence to fucking wake up the way that the 2K NBA 2K folks have woken up, it seems.
Yeah,
Because
the 2K folks are just they're not even I I think too, like 2K bit themselves in the corner because a lot of people invested time into their characters and they wouldn't mind going over to a new game. But the problem is if your new game shit, then I don't want to invest time in that. And you're trying to exploit money out of me building my character on top of that. I just don't got the
right.
money for that. I'll just keep playing 2K24. And the community updates the roster. So I don't really care about the rookies coming in or whatever, or I can just make created
Yeah.
characters for the rookies.
Okay.
And then
Yeah.
that's it.
Well,
Like,
okay. Question for you. Okay, so you remember? I think a few months ago, we had a story where NBA was shutting down. Like, I think it was like the game from like 2 years ago or whatever, like 2K22 or whatever.
oh no,
Um,
don't
do
do
you
that.
think? Do you think they will start to force people into getting the new game? Because yeah, if they're gonna stay with 2K24 when 2K25 is out, well, we don't want that as 2K. So do you think they're going to
Mm,
shut down the previous year's game the second the new game comes out
I can
at
see
some
that.
point?
2026 comes out, yeah, I can
Yeah,
definitely see that.
force people to upgrade, like force
Yeah,
people to get the new game.
yeah, I can
That
see
would be
that.
like house. I mean, I wouldn't put anything past them at this point. You know, in terms of scumminess, like they totally do that. Is that a good idea? For them, maybe short term, it probably increases sales, but I mean, I don't know. Yeah, no, it'd be ugly. I think that would be really ugly, honestly. So, yep. I mean, I just think it's crazy that Marvel Spider-Man 2 outsold NBA 2K25.
Yeah, I can't believe NBA 2K25 is out. Like, I keep forgetting that it's not that it's out.
Dude,
Because
Tekken
yeah,
8
next
outsold it. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth outsold it. Like, obviously these games have been out for most of the year, and 2K, 2K has been out for 3 months, but this is 2K we're talking about. Like, this does not happen. It's like these sports games don't have that happen. That does not fucking happen with these games. So
so just to give you
it's
context,
notable.
at the end of September 30th, they reported that 2K25 sold 4.5 million copies.
Okay. That's pretty weak.
Yeah.
How many weeks is that though on the market?
I don't
Was
know
that
when
the
it
whole
came
month?
out.
Like was it out at the beginning of September?
Let me check. I'm
A
sorry.
2K25 release date. Let's see. Yeah. It was the whole month of September. So that's pretty weak, I think, for a whole month. And they haven't announced any sales numbers since.
Yeah, it's dude. People hate this game.
Yeah.
That's actually, I mean, that's indicative of what the other game sold. But yeah, for you to have to beat Tekken 8. I mean, not to say Tekken 8 is a bad game.
I
It's a
mean,
fight.
this
It's a
is in the
mixed fighting
US. By
game.
the way, remember, we got to keep the context in mind. These sales and charts are specifically US sales. So this isn't worldwide.
I
But
mean,
still, it's notable
2K.
that in the US, Tekken 8 beat out 2K. Like, what?
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
crazy.
And let's be generous, right? Let's say I would say 75% of that 4.5 million is from the US.
Mhm.
25 is
More than
worldwide.
likely. I mean, basketball is a fucking American game, right? Like, it's,
Yeah.
so that makes
I
sense.
it's just insane. I don't know. I'm glad they're actually fighting back with their wallets though. I mean, I'm glad they band together and they're just because even the YouTubers are like, I'm not buying this game anymore. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I found a Reddit thread. Is NBA 2K25 worth buying from sale? Was thinking of possibly buying it for
the
$40.
first comment is no.
No. The third comment is no. The fifth comment is no. The sixth comment is no. It's just no. They don't elaborate at all. Oh my god. Oh, dude, I love it. Holy shit. All right. Yeah. Hey, y'all got my respect. Honestly, like
Yeah, they definitely earn my respect, man, for
yeah, this
real.
is this is great. I like to see this. If the game sucks, don't fucking buy it, bro. It's as simple as that. Like if dude, this is my thing, right? I don't have an issue with Madden owning the license exclusively. If Madden was good, I would tell you it's good, you know? But it's fucking not. And it hasn't been in a long fucking time, you know? So it's just
Well, see, this is a good comment right
uh,
here, right? The dude said, honestly, because people here hate the game they play. I'll tell you from a point of view of someone who loves gaming and basketball. The game is. This is what DJ said too. He did say this. The gameplay is some of the best basketball I've played. I enjoy the rhythm and shooting up more than I should. Probably because it's the closest thing to emulation of the jump shot that we've gotten. But then he goes into say the My Team mode, however, is very predatory. And if you don't have self control, they use tactics to FOMO and other things to make you spend cash. If you can resist it and like the grind, then the mode itself is fun. And I think that's the issue right there. People like the grind, but if you make it to where I gotta grind 20 hours just to unlock, a new fucking team jersey, then I'm gonna fucking or I gotta buy something. Like, that's crazy to me.
yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah.
issue. I think it's obvious predatory shit that's going on 2K25 right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm, man. All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on this. I mean, yeah, the idea that this game is not charting at all is very notable. At least to me. I mean, 4.5 million sales for a game like this and in its release month is I maybe 2K is happy with that, but I'm
They're
pretty
definitely not
sure,
happy with that.
dude, I'm
They're
pretty
definitely
sure Madden is selling 8 to 10 million in its first month, probably. And EA the fucking college football game, dude, is like fucking wasn't it like 20 million or something in like a couple weeks or something
yeah.
fucking insane like so it's yeah, I don't know. It's definitely notable to me. So EA's dominating the sports realm right now in terms of video games. So all right, Montreal, that's all we got today. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go? Or are you itching to get in the rift?
I'm itching to get into the rift.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, let's do that. Let's get the hell out of here. If you guys like this episode, please like the show, review the show, and subscribe to the show, whatever feed you're listening to it on. And please subscribe to us on YouTube. If you'd like to interact with either of us on Twitter, you can do so at iTrap for the Hokage for Montreal. That is the number 4, not the word. I'm at ThunderNut01. And the show is at the Player's Take. If you'd like to send us a question, you can do so on Twitter, or you can send us an email to theplayerstake01@gmail.com. That'll be it for us, guys. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week. Bye.